Welcome to the Business of Dance podcast, where you'll learn what it takes to create your dream professional dance career.
Join us as we dive into the insights and experiences of the world's top dance industry professionals, including dancers, choreographers, agents, casting directors, educators, and other dance industry experts.
We explore a diverse range of topics, from personal development and mental skills to audition techniques, creating meaningful industry connections, social media marketing, seeking out dance agents and casting opportunities, on-the-job etiquette, talent unions, pitching to the media, health, finances, and so much more.
Here is your host, Menina Fortunato.
Our guest for the day, she is known as the Barbie Girl. She got her Insta fame from World of Dance, her viral video, and now across all platforms, she has approximately 10 million followers. She's the Fembot icon of the dance community. She's a professional mover, personality, and director. Many years ago when she was 17, that's when her career launched because of this viral freestyle video from World of Dance. And since then, she's been on numerous commercials, campaigns, productions, and even some of her own self-directed and produced projects on the YouTube channel, her YouTube channel. Most recently, we watched her work come to life from her time as assistant choreographer from the one and only Shakira. Without further ado, please welcome Dytto. Woohoo! Welcome. Welcome. Well, we're so excited to have you. I'm excited to chat with you because even though we've chatted before, I haven't asked you some of these questions. So I'm excited to dive in. I want to know, you are a self-taught, I understand, dancer, or were you a studio kid?
It's been an actual mixture. That's so funny because I never thought of myself as a studio kid, but I kind of was. Like I was on a kids team in Atlanta at Dance 411, and I was like taking all the classes they told me to, all the different styles. I used to take 9 p.m. adult hip hop with Sean Bankhead. It was really amazing, but then I ended up meeting a freestyler from like the street dance community who started teaching me some of the moves. And as soon as he started teaching me, he had to go on tour for 6 months. So I was just kind of left with myself. So it was like self-taught, like I got the proper vocabulary, and then I was kind of just pushed off the edge. You got it from here. And I was like, so it's self-taught after that, but I'm happy I got the foundation from somebody. And then after that, it was really like up to me to get over stage fright, up to me to get comfortable in auditions, up to me to learn how to take class. It was kind of just all me from there. But I did have a lot of beautiful support. So kind of a balance for me.
Beautiful. And when were you a studio kid that kind of got introduced to the freestyle world?
I think when I was like 10, I started going to a dance studio. And before that, I was like a cheerleader. So that was the transitional time. Like I saw Step Up 3 and I was like, hip hop, I want to do this. And I was at the studio probably from maybe 12 to 13. And that's around the time. So it all happened within 6 months where I started at a studio and then met this person. And yeah, crazy short amount of
your life forever, apparently impacted you so much that you created a career after that. So let's kind of fast forward a little bit. So you're a 10-year-old kid, studio kid, you meet this freestyler, he goes on tour, you're kind of left to fend for self. How did you make your mark, first of all, as the Barbie Girl? Like you were only 17. Was it an intentional thing that happened, or was it kind of an organic fluke? Tell us about that whole 17-year-old pivot World of Dance Barbie Girl video.
Yeah, it was definitely a buildup. And I think a lot of people see this one moment and think that everything changed after that. And granted, it does, but it also doesn't come out of thin air. Like I had a YouTube channel with 2,000 subscribers and I was like, wow, everybody's watching me. This is like a really crazy thing. Like at the time, I felt like I never thought I'd have what I had now, but I had it already. Like I thought, oh my gosh, this is my dream. All my favorite dancers know who I am. I just want to impress them. And basically it happened through my purpose, kind of, which is why I think maybe it translated as well as it did, was because I would spend a lot of time with my mom. She was the one taking me to the studio constantly. So she was seeing everything. And she used to hear me say like, oh, Mom, like I just why are there no girls who do it? Or like, why is popping always so like masculine and like tough and aggressive? And anytime I would see a girl even tap onto the style a little bit, I would just, whoa, I was just amazed. And I kind of did the Barbie girl thing to show, look how girly I can be while also doing a male dominated style. So it came from me trying to kind of prove a point. It didn't really come from just anything aimless or, oh, let's pick a character this week. Like, I really felt like, wow, what a perfect kind of personification of me and what I do. And I was constantly trying to take on characters anyway that felt aligned with my brand and my purpose. I don't know why I was 12 years old thinking about branding. I don't know. I just was. I was just like, it's got to be a name that no one's heard. It's got to be this. For some reason, it was really clicking like that for me. And I was trying to think how to stand out immediately.
So let's talk about branding. What was the intent behind your stage name Dytto? Where did that come from?
Yeah, my real name was just so like sweet, and it was kind of an attempt at an alter ego. I viewed myself, my real name is Courtney, don't tell anybody. I viewed like my real self as I was very shy. I wasn't very outspoken. And when I was with my people, I was, but out there in the world, I wasn't. And if somebody asked me to freestyle, I would actually physically go in the corner and cry. And then it was like a cycle downwards because I was showing myself that I'm not capable by going in the corner and disappointing myself. I never got over the hump. And I was like, I think I need an alter ego because what people think they know about me, I have to change. And that can kind of be embarrassing for some reason. It can kind of be awkward to show people, okay, that person, I'm not her right now. I'm about to be this and surprise everyone. So it was an alter ego, and it was also my best self. I told myself that Dytto was my highest self. She did everything she did the right thing. She was kind. She was brave, like all the things that I wanted to become. So now the lines are kind of blurred. But at first it was like this total other character of, like she's on this pedestal. So it was a name that was suggested by my teacher at the time, but it was Ditto. And I just wanted to make sure when you looked it up on the internet, nothing popped up besides me. So when you look that up, the main thing you get is the definition of it, which is a copy. And I was like, ew. Like, I wanted to mean something because everyone around me had names that like meant something or were given to them, like a powerful nickname. So I changed the I to a Y to kind of try to say in my own way, I'm going to take everything that exists and put my spin on it. Like, I'm not doing anything brand new. I'm just being the most me that I can possibly be. And I just kind of figured, like, if I can do me better than you can do you, I'm going to win. That's kind of like where my brain was about it. So I was like, okay, this name is powerful. It's unique. It's not already taken or branded, and it's catchy, which I learned was a really great thing networking wise to be, hey, my name's Dytto. Automatically like conversation starter. It was just perfect. And it's memorable. So people go, oh, you're that Dytto girl, right? It kind of was a perfect icebreaker for me and my shy self.
So it sounds like, I think Beyonce has an alter ego. I don't remember her name, but
right, like Sasha Fierce, yeah,
something like that.
So no, yeah. So it in that zone.
It sounds like to me you created this alter ego in a way to overcome your own insecurities of being that shy girl in the corner. And you're like, okay, I don't want to be the shy girl in the corner. I want to be the confident girl who has power and who's feminine, who's strong, and all these things. Yeah. And then eventually, I feel like that's just who you are now. They eventually became the persona that you wanted to be, but maybe you had to create a character behind it initially to hide behind the curtain. That's very clever of you, and not something that most teenagers think about that young. And I mean, so and I'm curious to know because when did this name actually stick? When was that transition?
So I actually would do some like test with it because everybody at the dance studio had their own nicknames. And I knew that if I said, this is my nickname, that they would catch on to it and show me that love and respect and be excited for me. But I kind of I was still at school where I was in middle school, high school, being called Courtney every day. And I was like, okay, this is the name I'm going to go with. So the first thing you did at the time was like change your Facebook name. And everyone was like, oh, I saw it says you would have it as your middle name in like quotations, like how they do on So You Think You Can Dance, and you would feel so cool. So that came first and people saw that. But what I would do to test it out as a human was my family would go on these vacations and we liked doing like these little short cruises. I was so spoiled. We would go on these little short cruises and they have like kids clubs. So you would meet a bunch of other kids your age and you would have to introduce yourself and, oh, what do you do? What do you do? What's your Instagram? And I would walk in and say, hey, I'm Dytto, and see how people reacted. And I started learning what my best pitch for myself was, what was the best way to introduce myself, what was the best way to explain what I do to people. It was like practice, and then practice of actually acting that way and moving that way. So it started to stick kind of immediately from anyone I introduced myself to as it. And then my family adapted. They love calling me that. They don't even call me by my real name anymore. Yeah. And then I wasn't really anything on social media before that name. When that name happened, Instagram started. And you weren't even allowed to post videos yet, y'all. It was crazy. It was just filters.
It was a photos.
Yes, it was wild. And you would do the photo edits to try to get your whole outfit in there. It was crazy. So it kind of caught on immediately after that. And I think it was catchy enough as well that people enjoyed calling me that.
Now, curious on the business side of things, since we're business and dance, has that created any confusion with your legal name versus your stage name when it comes to, identification for anything? People might put your name on. Do you ever get your stage name on call sheets, but then and then you're showing them an ID that doesn't quite match? Have you ever done?
Yeah, I usually, paperwork wise, I always put Courtney Kelly, aka Dytto. And then usually people do as well, or they'll put my dance name in quotations so that it's still legal, because obviously on my taxes and whatnot, it doesn't say Dytto. And then when it comes to credits, performances, I have to ensure for performances that people know how it's spelled, because I have been introduced as Dytto because I never spoke to the person. And it was like at a basketball game too. I was like, oh, this is, I don't even want to walk out now.
People are Dytto.
Yeah, it was with Nonstop and Pop and John too. They're like, give it up for Nonstop, Pop and John, and Dytto. And I'm like, I'm turning around. I'm not even going out there now. I'm not doing
Kills the mind.
I was so annoyed. I was cranky the whole performance. I was like rolling my eyes. So I have had to correct people. And then credit wise, if I'm maybe an extra or a special guest in a movie or something like that, I do specify that I want it to only say Dytto. I make sure that it's in contracts, or I make sure it's communicated. But I think the most important thing is to not be still like embarrassed of your real name, because it's still not legally changed. As much as you want to say, this is my name, if somebody makes a mistake on a big production and puts your name in there, it can't be the end of the world. It just can't be. Like, obviously it's preferred, but things happen, especially when you're not the main idea. When you're just a pawn in someone else's big project and you're just happy to be a part, sometimes you got to just have a good attitude and be like, hey, I'm in there. It might say my full name and my dance name, but hey, I'm in there. Because that's happened, and I just kind of had to deal with it. There's nothing you can do when it's not your project. So
now, have you trademarked the name?
So I have not, because I looked into it actually recently, and they were saying that not only are there a few musicians with similar pronunciation, even though our names are spelled completely different, which I think is stupid, but they were saying, so in the music space, I may have some concerns, which for me, I think that we're all so different and they're pretty well established that I'm like, but that makes it trouble trademarking. So maybe I won't trademark, but no, I don't think we're going to run into issues. And then they said that there's like a cooking brand with that name or something.
Oh,
okay. All right. Never heard of you guys, but cool. So yeah, I looked into it. It was very expensive to look into. So I kind of don't know if it's worth trademarking for me, because it was just so expensive to even get answers. And the answers were so dissatisfying.
It was connect you. I know a good trademark attorney who has a fixed rate. So it's not an hourly thing that you're going to get nickel and dime. It's just a flat rate, and then they'll get it done. She was actually a former dancer turned attorney who was actually one of our guests. So, and I mean, my honest opinion, you have such a unique name that has stuck, at least in the dance community, and it sure has in the influencer space. I mean, you're creating an entire brand around it. So yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
If you can, if it's not already trademarked, then claim it, own it. It's yours. I mean,
yeah, that would be great to look into, especially from someone who kind of understands the perspective, because I was just I was actually getting a different person every time I spoke to them about it. And it did not feel like we were making progress.
Copy. Well, I'll connect you after this. Remind me. Okay, so fast forward a little bit. You're 17. This little buzz is starting to happen. Anything indirectly or directly happen after that video? Were there any opportunities, any gigs, any cool experiences as a result of that?
Yeah, I mean, that was in the day where not every single person was going viral at all times. So it got to be pretty much about me. Like, I was getting stopped on the street, like, you're the Barbie girl, because it was one of the only things circulating at the time. And pretty much immediately, I got called for this job for Android wear. And it was like filled with tutters and animators. It was like, it was Hawk, it was Pac-Man, it was Mad Chad, Mary Poppins. Like, it was just like legends from every different type of dance, but it was all like tutting and popping-esque. And when I came in, they showed me the reference and it was my video. It was like that video. And then the guy was like, hey, we just wanted to meet in person, but my daughters love you. Like, we're ready to go. But yeah, this is what we're looking for. And I'm like, that's me, but you're looking for me. It was like me and Apple Walkie.
Did they not realize that was?
No, they did. They're just like, kind of like, yeah, we wanted to meet, but yeah, we're going to use you. And I was like, okay. And they had me as like a featured dancer. So they gave me a lot of special spotlights. They let me freestyle a lot and they used my footage the most, which was amazing. And then a few months after that, did a big Target commercial. And then after that, I got the Ellen phone call, which was a beautiful experience. Yeah, they had me like do lots of interviews and things like that and get to know me. And they kind of kept trying to figure out like, what's the story besides she loves to dance? And I'm like, that's it. That's the story. I love to dance. Like, I'm a good kid in school. I get good grades, so my mom can't tell me no. And I love to dance. That's the thing. And we ended up doing an interview and it went so well. And I guess fans really loved it because she called me back a second time. She had me like offset film a video with her directors. It was like a dance video. And then they showed it to me live on the show. And she gave me like a photo from a photo shoot we took together. And it was a beautiful experience for me. I only really got to interact with her on the actual show. But to me, I had a beautiful experience and it gained me a lot of fans. And to put it in perspective, before I did Barbie, I had 60K followers on Instagram. Oh. So I was already like making a name for myself, but my YouTube videos were probably getting like maybe 2,000 views. Like, I was trying to build buzz because it doesn't quite happen from here to here. It doesn't work like that. Like, we all know what it feels like right now to get 2 views on TikTok. Nobody's seeing it. But once you start getting a little and then a little more, it builds and builds and builds. And then it's like a snowball effect.
Yeah.
So that was my snowball effect. I was already doing a lot of things that were making noise. I was getting on other people's YouTube channels, doing collabs, going out to see these people, dancing with them. Like, I was doing so many things that it kind of created this thing. So yeah, definitely a snowball. And then after that, I just felt like people in the dance community knew me, which I really liked. Like, they were like, oh, she's here because of that. It wasn't as much, oh, so you're like trying to be a dancer? Yeah. Like, it was more so, oh, okay. And then I was just getting reached out to a lot to do more collaborations. And then I turned that into more business stuff and just kept building.
Speaking of business stuff, I'm curious to know any brand deals, or what is the biggest brand deal you've ever received? You don't have to say the name of the brand if you don't want to, or because of confidentiality, but I'm just curious to know monetarily. Yeah. If you're open to sharing, what is the most you've ever made on any kind of collaborations with any brands?
Yeah. I will share 2 super important points about brand deals to me. So the most I've made on a brand deal was 100K. And that was even like many years ago. And the thing about brand deals is that this is like so crazy to me because I had like a super viral video and did not get any brand deals until I started talking. That's the thing. People think the more viral they go, the more brand deals you get. But brands want connection. And just because you're an incredible dancer, that sounds more like be in our commercial for $2,000 instead of promote our brand for $50,000. it's different. So that's where I think I kind of flipped to the influencer space to be an influencer who happens to be a dancer, because most people just dance and they think the more viral they go, they're going to get brand deals, but it only can be with dance brands. It's more rare. And when I kind of started talking, I got advice to just start vlogging. So I would vlog going to a dance, or I would vlog making my new dance video or whatever. It was still dance centered. But when they got to know my personality, then they saw, I think, the potential of, oh, she could talk about, she likes makeup. Oh, she likes hats. Oh, she likes clothes. Oh, she has cats. Cool. Let's do, it just gave them so many more ideas because they could hear the voice behind the promotion, I guess.
Built a personal brand. That's what it is.
Yes.
You built you weren't just the dancer or the Barbie girl. You actually are human, and you're multifaceted. And I think that's a really important lesson for everyone listening, is that
it's so,
I like, you tell me if you agree. I like to kind of follow the 80-20 rule, where it's 80% your kind of business, entertainment, career, and then maybe 20% incorporating a little bit of your personal life. I didn't know you like cats, but you like cats and you like hats and you like all these things where you can incorporate. So they get to see the human element of you, but also see your skill and what you're known for.
Yeah, I like
formula, or how does that work with you?
I think of my balance in like pillars. So if I look at pillars of Dytto, I would be like, okay, like there's fashion and beauty and all this creative sides of stuff. Then there's dance, which sometimes me posting dance looks like me laughing and giggling. And then sometimes me posting dance is me in sweatpants with my hair up training. Or sometimes it's a concept video where I'm crying and dancing and telling a story about a relationship I was in. Like, it could be so many different things. So I have to fill this space up with all of this. So like my lifestyle or my music or whatever it is, I kind of try to do every other post. Like, I try not to train too seriously 2 posts in a row, if that makes sense. Like, if I know that I train super serious and I showed you guys this side of me who's like ultra serious and ultra like dance nerd, I'm going to lighten up the energy a little. Maybe I'll post a selfie next, or maybe I'll post some outfits that I really like. And if I just did that, I want to remind you guys I'm still a dancer. So let me maybe post. I try to always keep that balance, I think. But I think nowadays, like, the posting is happening so fast that between our stories and our feed, you can kind of do all of it simultaneously. If you're talking really consistently about dance, you could be on your stories talking about that outfit you wore in your last video. So, but it's just balance, and whatever balance works for your fans. But you kind of do have to train them, if that doesn't sound crazy. Like, you do kind of have to, like they say, when you have, and this is going to be so cat obsessed of me, but if you have cats who like wet food and you're trying to switch them to dry food, they say that like the first day, put 10% dry food, and then the second day, put like 20% dry food. And then eventually you can switch them over. So that's kind of like the evolution of your Instagram pages and your YouTube. If they know that you are just a dancer, you might want to ease them into, hey, I'm a real person though. Here's a blooper. Here's a time I messed up really bad. Real and humanizing. And then maybe from there, you post some more dance because they like that. And then you're like, okay, now let me talk. And you got to ease them into it a little. But I think it's important for everybody for those days where you're not dancing, because fans can get like that, where they're very like, oh, if you're not doing that one thing we like, we kind of don't care. And you want to make sure that you're just a little more well-rounded, because it's all obviously very fabricated, and they really feel like they know you, but sometimes they just don't. So I don't think it's worth getting caught up in, oh, they only like me when I'm dancing, so that's what I have to do. That's what you'll kind of fall into if you don't take it amongst yourselves to be like, I got to show you all the things I like so you guys aren't surprised when I wear some crazy outfit in my next dance video. You guys can't be surprised. So work it in.
Well, I love that you mix it up. I think it makes it interesting, because I don't know, as a viewer, I would get bored of seeing the same thing every day. Oh yeah,
I would get bored of making it. So for all of our
mix it up,
hope
like
to not burn out.
Show all the sides.
Yes.
No, that's very smart. Now, what have you been working on lately? You mentioned music. I'd love for you to kind of expand on that. Any other cool projects? I know one in particular, but if you want to share.
Guys, Benita has inspired me so crazy. I'm launching my own app. It's going to be called The Next Move. It's coming out soon. And it's all based on learning to freestyle, because I swear that I've watched so many classes and auditions where I'm like, okay, guys, just freestyle until the music starts. And everyone looks at me like a deer in the headlights. And I know that feeling. Like, I just know that feeling because that was me, minus the crying, because that's probably not y'all, but that was me. So I was like really severe with it. But there's like just so much hope if you're uncomfortable freestyling. And I think that so many of us are. So that's my mission there. I'm really excited about that. It's so close to me. But I'm like, ugh. And all the techniques and stuff I'm working through on there is stuff I still use to this day. So it's just so important. I'm just trying to do things that are important to me now. And the music, the music I think it originally was an idea because of monetization. Like, dancing to other people's music is great to get some of the eyes on you. But when it comes to monetization, after you start getting a lot of views, I realize I'm just paying other bills. It's crazy. Like, even like companies I've worked with have been smart enough to hire someone to make a beat, and they paid them $1,000 to make this beat, and now they own this beat, and they say, hey, Dytto, you should dance to this. And I do, and it gets 10 million views, and I don't get a dime. So I was going to ask,
can you explain to the dancers that don't understand the monetization part, and when you use copyrighted music that you don't make money? Can you elaborate how that works and why that motivated you to create original music for yourself?
Yes, it's so insane because it is really like you're doing all this dancing, which is original dance. But when you post videos, now it's Instagram, it's TikTok, wherever it is, they're immediately recognizing the music in your video. And they're saying, oh, you don't own this. You cannot make money off of this. So monetization really was a big thing on YouTube a while back when like Barbie was happening. And I'm 40, 50 million views in, and I'm not making a dime. I still have never made a dime off of how many views that video has gotten, including all of my other World Dance follow-ups that were by other artists. So monetization, basically, YouTube will calculate it. It'll give them the money, and then it goes towards their streams, which goes towards their money. It literally helps them so much, and all you get is, at least people saw me dance. Please remember my name, which is cool, but it's not the same. So I've seen a lot of dancers that have kind of done this before me. Like, I saw Matt Stefanina start to teach his own music, which I was like, oh, yes, so genius. And he's really passionate about producing. So it was very aligned. I watched my boyfriend go from like rapping for fun to rapping so that he could dance to it. And then he can make his own favorite songs. So that's eventually became way more passionate for me, where at first I didn't know how I was going to approach it because I'm not a singer. I'm not a rapper. I've just written poetry for most of my life. So I didn't really know how that was going to translate. So I ended up just spending a lot of time figuring out how to put my poetry onto a beat. And that's kind of what my recent project is. It's called Fembot Files. So it's basically the diary of me. So yeah, it kind of was just somewhere where I feel like I can let my fans get to know me a little bit deeper. And if it's more just surface level, they're all beats I can dance to. They're all beats that if I heard, I'd be like, oh, I'm going to dance to this. So it kind of helps me feed myself back a little bit so that when I get 10 million views on Instagram and somebody's getting paid for those views, at least it's me, because I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to dance to something.
Brilliant. No, I think it's genius. I think it's very smart of you, and you're absolutely right. I've spoken to a lot of dancer influencers that have these massive viral videos, like you say on YouTube, 40 million followers, and you made nothing from it, which is so wild to me, all because of the music that you used.
All because of the music. Like, they didn't make these dance moves. Why can't we share it?
I know. I get it. I wish there was a way to maybe like collaborate on the monetization where it's
a collab post.
Your video, their music. Let's share in the profits, maybe. But that's for another business of dance conversation. And then also with your app, is there a timeline for that, or when can people expect to tune into that?
Yeah, this summer, definitely. Like within probably July, it will be good to go, ready for you.
Amazing. And I'm also proud to say that, can I tell them what we behind the scenes a little bit? The reason why this entire conversation is even happening is I appeared on an ad for a company called Passion. So dancers, Business of Dance, you know how Business of Dance is on the Passion website. So she saw, I'm one of their success stories. She saw an ad and she was like, no, Nina, I want to make sure this is legit. So she sends me a DM and I saw you on this ad. Is this for real? Is this what like is actually happening with your life and business? Da, da, da. And then we chatted back and forth and she's like, tell me about the da, da, da. And we just went back and forth. And then she was like, should I join? I was like, yeah, go for it. And then she didn't tell me she joined. And then one day I'm doing a coach.
I move quick, girl.
You move very fast. We're just chatting. The next thing I know, I have a group coaching call because I'm a guest coach for that other company. And she shows up and she shows up as Courtney. And at first I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, I know you. But I'm like, and she's like,
and I had my camera off. I'm like hiding. I'm like eating breakfast with my cats.
That was like sweet. So I had an opportunity to coach her a little bit and help her with this new project that she's working on.
It's been so helpful. I can't wait for you to see.
Well, I am so proud of you and I cannot wait to see you succeed. So we've been business of dance coaching in a different arena with a different purpose, different kind of business of dance coaching, but
it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then I was like, you know what? I'm like, I'm gonna bring you on as a guest. She's like, let's do it. So that is the power, my friends. One, social media, and two, relationships. We were just genuinely having a conversation. The next thing I know it, she's in my coaching call. The next thing I know it, she's in our business of dance world. And here we are. You inspired me. I inspired you. We inspired these kids and pay it forward. So no, it's so wild how that all just kind of happens so fast. And then you'll have to share it. Once you have the actual live links, we'll share it and then we can put it in the show notes for this as well. So people can tune in. And I'm just curious, show of hands dancers, who here kind of has like a little bit of stage fright when it comes to freestyle? Like it's kind of your weakness. It's not exactly the thing to do. So
yeah, we got to talk.
So Ditto, your future clients are like right here.
Got you guys. Seriously, I have been her. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And trust me, I'm one of those. I'm the same. I mean, I'm no longer like an industry dancer anymore, but that honestly, that was my weak point.
It's so
auditions
spooky.
For that very reason. The moment they say freestyle, and it's like, I mean, I because I had no choice, but it was definitely not something I was excited about, even till this day. And I still don't love it. So maybe I need to be your student next time.
Oh my gosh, I got you. It's literally. I used to be like, oh my God, do we have to freestyle? And then now I'm like, if they let me freestyle, it's mine. It's mine if they let me freestyle. You guys are done if they let me freestyle. Like it's that now, but it was not always.
Well, that's good. And sometimes your weakness then becomes your strength because you worked on it. You know? Yeah. So for every dancer in here too that shies away from it, instead of shying away from it, just go head first. And if you suck at it, it's okay. And you just keep doing it. And over time you get better. So I love that. Well, on that note, I would love to open it up to our mentees to do a little Q&A. Jade, introduce yourself. Tell everybody your name, your age, where you're from, and what is your question.
Hi, my name is Jade Robinson. I'm 20 years old. I live in Palm Bay, Florida, but I'm originally from Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. And my question is, how did the world dance stage impact your life?
First of all, hey.
Nice to meet you.
Great to meet you, Jade. Man, it impacted my life in so many ways, but I would say that it taught me to get comfortable being watched. And that was something that used to kind of scare me, whether I was freestyling or not. It was just a lot of pressure. But I think it did kind of help me form this connection with an audience where I loved the idea that they're just waiting for what I'm going to do. It kind of actually made me love that. And I would use elements of my dance style to kind of gain that energy from them. If I was slow-moing or roboting, I would lean and I would just be breathing and taking my time and I would hear their anticipation. So like that connection, I think is something that you can't learn until you actually try it. And my mini version of that was I used to freestyle on Hollywood Boulevard to see what translated to people, like what moves would it get oohs and ahs. So I realized that sometimes things that were a little too dance dorky didn't really connect unless you were a dancer and you knew. But some things were great to the naked eye, and I chose to balance those on the World of Dance stage. So it was an experience that just could not be replicated, and it changed the way I danced forever. It made me fall in love with the stage, and I didn't care how long I was on it. I just wanted to be up there.
That's amazing.
Well, thank you so much, Jade, for your question. Next up, we have Serena Wright.
Hi, my name is Serena Wright. I'm 18 years old from a little town called Silsbee in Texas. And my question today starts with this. You're not only a dancer, but an influencer. Both are very big careers, professions to be into. Both could also be described as like mentally taxing, especially with all of the beauty standards and all of that laid out in it. How do you keep from burning out in such a physically and mentally taxing profession and world?
Such a good question. Oh my gosh. Thank you for this. So something I think about a lot because I'm constantly trying to find the balance because I do tend to overachieve and kind of ask a little too much of myself sometimes. But I think that the thing that makes it okay when I force myself to be really busy and I kind of enjoy it, the thing that creates that enjoyment is I try really hard to think aside from whatever standard exists for everybody or whatever's trending. I could kind of care less. I could care less how everybody's dressing. I could care less how everyone's doing their makeup. I care about what clothes look good on my body, what makeup looks good on my face, what music feels good for me to dance to. And you can still get a ton of attention dancing to a song that nobody's heard before. And maybe your next post is something people have heard before to get people onto your page. But there's a give and take there. And I think that I've had much more success showing people who I am than trying to become who they want me to be.
Yeah. Love that.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Serena.
That was a great question.
All right. Next up, we have Gracie.
Hey, I'm Gracie Golden. I'm 20 years old and I'm from Andalusia, Alabama, small town in Alabama. My question is, what is a bold move that you made in your career that felt risky at the time, but ended up shaping your path in the best way?
Oh, these questions are good. Gracie. I love this question. Okay. There is something that's going to happen in your guys' careers, and you're going to feel when there's an end of an era. Maybe it's that social media has changed, or YouTube or TikTok isn't popular anymore. Things are going to continue to change, and you have to adapt to those things. And I remember when I felt like I had done so many performances with World of Dance that I was burning out because they were so consistent, and I wanted each one to be different. And I didn't even have any songs that I was inspired by at the time. Like, I needed to go get inspired before I was ready to hit the stage again. And I kind of just stopped. And I found myself being really curious about concept videos because I had seen so many growing up. Like, I had saw Chachi and the Ian Eastwoods of the world, and I was seeing that happen. And I was just like, I've always wanted to do those. And I didn't think anyone would watch them, which was the scariest part because I knew I was disappointing people by stopping the World of Dance stuff. But I thought, let me just shoot one so at least I have it posted and see how it goes. So I started kind of working with a director who was just really well versed in cinematography. He knew how to make something look like a movie. And I had the time of my life, like organizing this and everything. And I never knew that that would be my next like World of Dance bag, 20 million views on every video. Like, I never thought that I could recreate that type of hype, but with something other than that stage. Because part of me thought, what if I'm not special without the World of Dance background behind me? What if that was what made me unique to people? But I realized that after trying that it was the dancing, it was the story, it was the emotional connection through the dance. It was a little bit of the acting and the storytelling. So it became like a new unlocked character for me, but I was originally terrified. It was the scariest thing in the world to me. I thought that I was going to disappoint everybody, but it was my next bag. It's my next chapter.
There you go. I love it.
That is awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gracie. Next up, we have Alessia. You are next.
Hi, I'm Alessia Nicolini. I'm from Peru. I'm 18 years old. My question is, what would you say has been the biggest challenge and getting to where you're now? What helped you overcome it or achieve your goals?
Biggest challenge. That's a really good question because he got me thinking. I would say that the biggest challenge is the evolution with everybody watching. I heard something that Big Sean said once. He said that it takes a lot of courage at first to put out music. And it takes 10 times more courage to put it out when everyone's staring at you. And everyone's waiting. And everyone has an expectation. And everyone has an opinion and something that they want from you. So I would say that is incredibly challenging. And that is what is so special about freestyle to me, is freestyle is the dance version of my connection to myself. And that is the only way I have survived. Genuinely, knowing who I am is the only way I have survived, because I think I could have easily been a trend chaser. I could have done whatever the comments said they wanted from me. But I remember early on, someone said, "Oh my God, try another style. All you do is robot." I said, okay. And I put some heels on, did a choreography video. And then few people commented and are like, "Oh my God, stick to what you know. Why are you stick to what you're good at." I'm like, okay, so I can't win. And you won't be able to win. So only you will know what actually feels good for you. And you have to be in control of that, even when you feel like, I just want to be, a slave to the comments because, oh, this is what's getting me paid. This is what's getting me comments. I promise it just doesn't work. They're going to find something to say. I've tried it. Like, I've actually tried to please everybody. And I am telling you, it doesn't work. So it's very, very tempting, though. And I think that is the hardest thing to look at and know that you could veer in this direction to maybe satisfy. But it eventually crumbles. So just don't do it. It doesn't work.
I think the message is just be your authentic self and the right people will follow.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Alessia. Muchas gracias. That's my little Spanish for you.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we have the Inako twins, Olivia and Serena.
Hey, I'm Olivia, the other Serena. Right. We're from Connecticut. We mainly train in New York. And our question is just regarding freestyle and everything. For someone, first of all, we're so excited about your app. Like, we're the first people to get it, period. But for people that want to practice it on their own, what would you recommend as like an approach? Do you have drills that you like, or is it just kind of like putting on the music and going with the flow? And also just kind of like training your mind to stay creative with movement and not resorting to like the same things.
Yeah, great question. These questions are amazing. You guys are literally geniuses. Okay, so first thing I'll say about freestyle is, when you don't have comfortability with freestyle, it can't be about performing first. It has to be about exploration first. So for me, I kind of broke that like mindset with myself by filming myself every day. I had a giant playlist of music I loved. Some was slow, some was fast. And I forced myself to dance to the entire songs. That also made a big difference for me, I believe, because it wasn't just about a highlight reel where, oh, I could get in a circle and do a cool move. It's not about cool moves. It's about feeling. The cool moves come from dance vocabulary, which I go over as well, but they're nothing without the feeling. They're nothing without what you have to say. And that is where the exploration part comes from. So you'll want to force yourself to dance to a full song, maybe do 3. And I used to do them at night. I would just film on my phone. Doesn't have to be fancy. And I would lock my door. I was like, this is nobody's business how crazy I'm about to look. Nobody's business but mine. And I needed to give myself that freedom to think that I have a million fans who think I can do no wrong. How would I dance if I had that? And I performed like that in my basement, in my room with the door locked. Nobody could come in and surprise me. And it really allowed me to let go. And then I would get on the bus the next morning to school and I would watch all my footage. And I would think in my head what was good, what had potential, what needs more dance technical training, what maybe was a feeling that I kind of liked. And it kind of just forced me to keep exploring, even if it was uncomfortable. And I always found something I liked. Even if I found something that I didn't, I always found something that was like, okay, we're going to keep going with that. That I'm going to try some more of. And I would do it the next night. And I honestly did that for months, but I think within a week you would see a difference. So I would say start there. That's going to change everything. And then eventually you'll start getting into how to make sure you're not repeating and how to challenge yourself. And for me, I have a little hack where if I'm dancing and I can tell I'm about to do that one move again, I stop. I literally physically will stop and do something different. If I know that I'm going to do this again, I will stop and I'll be like, And I just change it immediately. If you watch my videos, you'll literally see me do it if I'm about to repeat because I don't want to be a repeater.
I love that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good to see you guys. I haven't seen you guys in a minute on these calls. Good. I'm glad Ditto brought you to our Zoom calls. They've been with me for a long time, but I hadn't seen them in a while. So it's nice to see you back. All right, Madison Mucha, you are next.
Hi, my name is Madison Mucha. I'm 16 years old and I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. My question is, what advice would you give to someone still in high school?
Feel that. Great question. So I would say focus on getting really good, like getting really, really undeniable, getting connected with who you are, and documenting on social media. Because you don't have to have an overly professional social media to have a professional career in dance. And I think I'm really glad that for me, I was in high school when a lot of this was starting for me. And I didn't have a lot of friends. So I was like sitting in the library at lunch most of the time, listening to music, coming up with ideas, watching my training videos, things like that. And it was a great time for me to get really good because I was told originally, which ended up being a fluke because I went viral too early, but I was told I couldn't get signed to an agency until I was 18. There was an agent I wanted to sign with in Atlanta, and he was like, sorry, call me when you're 18. And I would like, can I come to the auditions just to practice? He's like, sure, but I can't sign you. I was like, oh my God, okay, fine. Then I'm just going to get so good that when I'm 18, I'm just booked and busy. Like, I'm just going to prepare so hard. So for you, if you're still in high school, you have other responsibilities. Prepare so hard that when you don't have those responsibilities, you are such a threat. Like, you're already just crazy with it. You know who you are. You're comfortable in your own skin. You're not scared of people watching you. You're comfortable on social media. You know how to get in touch with whoever's watching you. I would use it as like the ultimate preparation, like the ultimate like prep before the
visuals,
launch,
the bow and arrow.
Yeah, like the ultimate. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madison. All right, next up we have Aurora.
Hi, my name is Aurora Goldbach. I am 15 years old from Port Orchard, Washington. I want to say you're so chill and your like advice is so wise. Love it. Anyways, for my question, I was curious with your alter ego, how did you not second guess your talent or ability to be this best version of yourself?
I did for a really long time. Ditto was like, do you guys know how if you're listening to music, you can kind of picture in your head yourself dancing, but maybe it's moves you can't do yet? Or you picture, and then I would do like a backflip or I'd do like a big, but you can't physically do that? Okay, that was me. That was like Ditto was in my head and she was like so bad. But I was like, damn, she's so cool. And I just kept trying to be her. It was really that, but I knew that she was cool, but I didn't know if I could be that cool. So it was kind of, I guess, exploratory because I had no idea that it was going to work. I just believed in it so much. I believed that that girl was so cool and I couldn't, if she existed, I wouldn't be able to stop watching her. And that was kind of the idea. And it was sort of pulling together all my favorite things from my favorite people, whether it was actors or other dancers or people I knew or people on YouTube. I was pulling all my favorite things and be like, oh yeah, she's a little bit of that. Oh, Ditto's a little bit of that too. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, she'll do that every now and then. Even letting my personality shine through, a lot of that came from watching Chachi because I saw on America's Best Dance Crew the way that she would kill it. Like she would have this zone where she was like a monster. And then she would grab the mic and be like, hi. And she was just so sweet. I was like, I love you. And that literally stole America's hearts. And I saw that and was like, oh, so I don't have to be like tough. I can be like that. Cool. Done. I'll show my real personality. Great. When I kind of packaged all these things into what Ditto was. But I think that helped me believe in it, knowing that it worked on other people. And then I was taking these elements that were already kind of bulletproof, I guess, like things that I knew and saw working.
It sounded like you had you took ingredients from what you saw and you mixed it and made it stirred the pot and made it your own. And there's Ditto.
And that's a lot of it. Like nothing under the sun is new. Like you might see something and be like, oh, I'm kind of like that, but I'm this, or I'm like that, but a girl version, or I'm like that, but a guy version. Like it could be whatever makes sense in your mind. But that was kind of how I perceived it. I was like, oh, I'm like a her, but like the popping version. Okay, cool. Helps.
I love that. And the one takeaway too, I really love that you said is belief in yourself. Because I really think it all starts from that, having that belief in yourself. That mind.
You got to think it's the coolest thing ever.
You have to believe in yourself before anybody else is willing to believe in you.
Yeah. And mind you, I would sound crazy if I had told people what was in my head. That's the thing is that sometimes you have to cook on your own before someone else can say, oh, that smells good. What are you making? Now they're interested. But when you're first just throwing your ideas out there, it's probably going to sound crazy to people around you because it hasn't existed before. And that's a good thing that it hasn't existed before. And you're going to be the person that brings it to life. So,
yes, work quietly and then surprise everyone.
Yeah.
I love it. All right. Thank you so much, Aurora. Next
Thank you.
We have Gabrielle.
So I'm Gabriel. I'm 19 years old. I'm from Quebec, Canada. I'm a street dancer too. I'm a popping dancer. I just want to say that's funny because all your background is what I live right now. Like my teacher went to Vegas and right now I don't have a mentor. So I'm just like, just lost a little bit right now. But yeah. So my question is, are you still involved in the street dance community? And what is your relationship with the street dance community? Because sometimes when you do commercial things or business thing, like there's a lot of conservative people about it.
Good point.
Yeah, thank you so much for that question because super relevant, especially for me coming from a place where I was only known for street dance. And then when I started doing the influencing thing, I do remember some street dancers were still connected with me and they were like, hey, I see that you haven't learned a lot about this style of popping or that style. Let's train. I was like, oh my God, great. And some of their friends would get mad at them because they were like, you shouldn't be teaching her anything, And his argument was like, well, she's going to go teach the world. So we need to make sure she has the right knowledge. We need to make sure that she's spreading the things we want to be spread. And other than that, we'd rather do that than spread like false information or maybe disclude a certain element of popping that's important. So I've kind of had both experiences at the same time where some people have chose to look at me like some sort of sellout, which I could kind of care less because most of those people, it's because they refuse to do it themselves because they think it would make them a sellout. And that's just their opinion. Like those people that are saying that are the ones who won't post. Or they do post and they don't get any views and they don't know why. And they're kind of angry about it and they think that it's rigged. And they kind of have this like premeditated idea of it all. But the ones that are my favorites have been extremely supportive. I remember being posted in this big Facebook page with all the poppers. It's called What's Poppin'. They posted a video of me and all the comments were, what is she doing? She's ruining the stuff. So mean. And I was brand new. This was pre-bargain. And I remember Mr. Wiggles commented and said, I think she's super special. Her tutting is amazing and her robot's really cool. I'm sure she'll keep practicing. I'm excited to see what she does. And I was like, that's the only
shout out
that
to
matters.
Mr. Wiggles.
Shout out to Mr. Wiggles, the greatest. Because the people that get it. And the people who maybe are dancers we look up to, if they're a hater, they're a hater. Because they have the option to say, hey, I see that you're doing that move wrong. Or I see that you're spreading false information. Let me help. Or they can point a finger and be cranky about it. They can do one of two things. So I don't really care about the ones who choose not to. So with that being said, when it comes to battles and events, I show up every now and then if it's convenient for me, but I kind of just see my select friends of it all outside of the events. And I used to love going to the events, but now when I go, I get this energy from people that they want to call me out or they're wondering why I'm not battling. Do I think I'm too good to battle? I've never been a battlehead. Like I battled a little bit prior to going to LA for the first time and I didn't particularly enjoy it. It just wasn't my thing. I wanted to perform. I wanted more time to dance. I don't care what this other person's doing. I want to do my own thing. Like it just didn't connect for me. And I don't like going to events thinking that people are like trying to plot on how to say, I beat Dytto in a dance battle. Okay, but I just didn't want to necessarily deal with that because it's just not my cup of tea anyway. But I do think that there is completely a way to balance it, but you're still going to deal with those people who try to act like having a social media following means something about your street dancing. And it just doesn't. you know what you know, and that's it.
Oh, great perspective. And I mean, quite frankly, I see there could be beauty in the collaboration of if there is some OGs that maybe do want to educate you or teach you a different style, and then you actually collaborating with them would give them visibility. So you learn something new. They also get the visibility. So, because the reality is nobody's going to hate on you that's doing better than you. So usually that stems from their own insecurities, their own jealousy, their own personal hangups. So it's easier to just discredit those that are quote unquote Insta famous and say that, oh, they're not one of us, if you will. But I think both worlds can collide. I think both worlds can collab. I think there's room for everybody to win. But I do, Gabrielle, I do understand what you mean. The underground street world and the commercial dance world, there definitely is. There's some that cross over, and then there's some that
don't want to. They just
to.
Are uncomfortable with the idea. And I think that's okay too. And it's never stopped me from showing love. I will say that that's the most right thing that I can feel like I do about it, is that I feel like I can do about it. Wow, that was confusing. I feel like the part that makes me feel like I can sleep at night is that I'm still going to speak so highly of the dancers that I admire as dancers. I don't know y'all. I don't know these people. Like, I don't hang out with you. I don't know you personally, but that dancer inspired me to do this. That dancer inspired me to do this. I've been watching that dancer since I started. I'm never going to stop giving flowers. Like, I haven't done an interview where I haven't just naturally ended up having to bring up somebody that inspired me. And even if we're not tight or we're not close, I'm not going to try to pretend like you don't exist. That just feels fake to me. I'm not going to do it. If you inspired me, you inspired me. And I'm proud of that. It doesn't make me whatever. It doesn't make me less that I looked up to somebody. So that's okay too. Give your flowers to those in the street dance community that you see. And that's also most likely to get them to feel a little softer about it and not feel like you're disrespecting the culture, because you're like, no, I know exactly who you are. I know the importance of what you've done, and it inspires me every day.
I think that's smart. I think it's very smart of you to acknowledge those that came before you and honor them and respect them, because I think you're right. I think it'll soften the blow if they had preconceived notions about people like you that have crossed over into the influencer space, that, okay, at least she honors and respects the originators. I think that's beautiful. I mean, we should all respect those that came before us. So I think that's great that you are giving the flowers to those that inspired you. And one day those flowers will be given to you and you'll inspire the next generation. So
I would never hear it if nobody ever said, oh, she's the reason that I remember when she. So doing that for somebody else, I think it feels really good on me, because I know how special it feels when somebody says that to me. So to withhold that from somebody feels like a crime. It feels like a crime.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Gabrielle. Are you training with Mr. Wiggles this summer? Was that one of the people that?
Yeah.
He's going to be with Mr. Wiggles in France very soon.
Oh, in Vegas?
In France.
Oh, in France. Damn. That's going to be amazing. Yeah. Enjoy that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh. Yeah, it's a whole popping convention, intensive.
Yeah, it's intensive popping with like there's Aaron Mike, Kite, Young G, and there will be a guest teacher too. So yeah, that will be crazy.
Watch, it's me. I just pop up. I'm like, hey, Gabrielle. No, that's amazing. Have so much fun. Dance your heart out. Oh,
I love it. Well, I'm glad you were on, Gabrielle, because I had you in mind when I brought her. I was like, oh, you're going to love her. We got to pop her. So I love it. We're very diverse in this group. We're come from all over, and we are different styles of dancers. But anyways, beautiful. Thank you so much, Gabrielle. All right. Next up, we have Sydney.
Hi, I'm Sydney Greenfield, and I'm 16. My question was just, when you first moved to LA, what was one piece of advice that you wish you had known before moving that would have made it a little bit easier for you?
I moved very suddenly, so I guess there's a lot of things I wish that I had kind of known or thought about. But I feel like more of my learning experience came with being in LA for the first time, and that sort of shock and the things that I experienced. I don't feel like there's anything I wish that I had done, But what I will say I'm glad I did do is before I approached LA, I had my own leverage. Like I had social media and I had a skill that nobody else could do the way that I did it. And I felt that really made me comfortable when I went and started speaking to these agents and these managers who thought, oh, she's new to LA. She doesn't know how things work around here. We do. So listen to me. And my mom and I were very we were very, very uncomfortable with some of that. And we didn't really know that we were allowed to just be like, no, not doing that. I had a manager that was sending me out for auditions for characters that I wasn't comfortable playing. And they were telling me, you're never going to make any money off dance. Nobody does that unless they're on like Broadway. So you've got to go to this audition. You're going to play a girl who's 16 and pregnant. And she's this really crazy character. You're going to be like the protagonist. And I was like, I don't even want to do that. I want to dance. And there's an Android Wear audition and I'm on the thing for it. I'm literally what they're looking for. No, don't go to that. Dance is never going to make you money. So I'm just so glad that I had kind of a mission that I was on, because if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And there's going to be a lot of people with a lot of ideas about who you are. And that just doesn't mean they're right. It's an idea. It's a good guess, but they'll never know what your actual mission is, what you're actually trying to do. So I think that that's like a important before LA kind of thing. Like that comes first. Get your leverage, know who you are, be comfortable in your own skin, and get ready to possibly be inconvenient and to know your worth when the time is right, because you just never know. You never know what kind of people you're going to come across. You might come across a really helpful manager or a really annoying one. You just never really know what you might end up in. And even if it's just one day on set, you've got to be comfortable enough with yourself to be like, I'm going to be that girl right now that calls my agent. I am going to be that girl. Yeah, I am. I've had to be that girl so many times and not be scared that it was going to lose me the job, or that it meant I wasn't talented, or that it meant I was never going to book anything again. So really just have your own sense of, I've got something to give, and it's not all about what these people tell me to do.
Love that. Thank you so much, Sydney.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Shannon.
Hi, I'm Shannon. It's so nice to meet you. Thank you for being with us. I'm from New Jersey, but I'm mostly training and dancing in New York right now. My question for you is just going more into that sense of self that you were talking about right now is so important. Is that something you always had? Did you have to develop that more over time? And then are there strategies that you leaned on, or techniques, or maybe even rituals or routines that you maintain today to stay connected to that through everything, even when things are harder and you feel pulled in different directions?
Love that question. So good. Yeah, absolutely. I think I speak on how important it is because it's something I believe everyone has, but not everyone's in touch with. I think we all have moments or songs or outfits or places or people or settings that make us feel the most ourselves. And I think we are meant to take note of that, indulge in that, learn about that, be intrigued by that, because that's the stuff that's going to help us get to know ourselves. And I think I did start that at a young age because I spent so much alone time. I just naturally wasn't interested in a lot of the other conversations. I kind of only wanted to talk about dance, which left me alone most of the time until I went to a studio and was meeting other dancers where I could just blab all day about tutting. But I think that music and working on myself, it became a pattern. Like it actually became a habit to connect with myself. And I think everyone needs that for this. And that ritual for me was listening to a lot of music. I would also search for music because I think sometimes the music on our playlist is just not always what inspires us. And sometimes we need to actually put in real effort to go find songs that inspire us and make us feel brand new. Training on my craft and just thinking about that dream version of myself. And really, I think the isolation helped me see myself really clearly. So I have had challenges when I'm around a lot of people or I'm watching too much of other people's content. It starts to rub off on me, or I start trying to dance like them. And that's why I think watching myself helps so much, because if you watch another dancer too much, you might not even realize that you start dancing like them. And it kind of messed with my sense of originality. So I think just really diving into yourself. Like, what clothes do I love dancing in? Ooh, let me get some more of those. Let me do that more often. Just being kind of obsessed with your own growth and turning it into a habit. Have those things that you do every day that you don't even feel like you if you don't do them. And double down on those. Because, yeah, I have to do those till this day. If I even spend a weekend around too many people and I just feel kind of exhausted or burnt out or I'm missing my craft, I have to go completely tune back in. It's literally like tuning a guitar. I have to go reconnect with myself. Like, it's not only like an introverted, like recharging kind of thing. It's literally, okay, where was I again? Where were we? Me? Like, where were we? I got to go listen to the right music. I got to spend that alone time. I got to watch my dance videos, and it always helps. But got to be a habit.
I love that.
That's amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shannon. All right, next up we have Taylor. You are next.
Hi, my name is Taylor. I'm 17 from Carmel, Indiana. And my question is, what was like your process for getting booked for jobs? And what was it like working on shows like The Next Step?
Love that you know about The Next Step. I loved my experience there. So that one specifically, and honestly, most of my gigs kind of came through social media, like my email or a DM, which is pretty crazy. I always had an agency, but my agency was not a dance agency and still is not a dance agency. It was a commercial agency who ended up transitioning into being a digital influencer agency. So they were able to connect brand deals. But prior to that, every time I had a big video that reached, I was just getting emails. And I would have an agency negotiate them for me to make sure that I wasn't being lowballed, because I did see an immediate difference when it was me and my mom negotiating versus when someone just said, hi, I'm from the agency. Like, the rate went up $10,000. I literally watched the difference happen. But to be completely honest with you, ever since I got my name, went to LA, I have never gone to an audition.
Really?
And yeah, I just don't audition because people know what I do. And what choreography do you need me to learn? Like, I've been so spoiled because I do something so unique. There was a job where it was a music video and they wanted 5 girls. They wanted me to be the main girl. All the other girls were like technically trained and I wasn't. So they booked all of us and then they put us all in a rehearsal space and taught us contemporary choreography. And I was like, hey, I'm not a contemporary dancer. And they're like, oh no, you can do whatever you want. Would they just have to learn this? I was like, okay, all right. But they just kind of treated me like a special case because I was. So I think that if you're excited to go on tour, work with an artist, be a backup dancer, that's fine. But certain things come with that. And then if you want to kind of do more what I'm doing, where it's more so special skill and not like, how fast can you learn choreography? Even with what I just did with Shakira, it was very based off of my originality. It was not like full choreographer mode. What is she going to do for the thing she already knows how to do? It was like, no, how do we put a little sprinkle of Dytto in this? It wasn't choreography. So I think that there's kind of a few routes, and that route comes with other things as well, where you got to do a little more influencer stuff. You got to do a little more talking, but they're both really great. They just come with different stuff. So yeah, for me, no auditions, no dance agency. It's kind of like some emails. Hey, do you like the idea? Oh, I love that idea. I'd love to be a part. Okay, cool. Here's the rate. Are you cool with that? Yeah, I'm cool with that. Let's do it. And then we get to it.
That's really wild and impressive. I don't know that I've ever met a dancer in LA that has never been to an audition. Now, how long ago was this? When you actually made the move? Like, how many years?
To LA?
Yeah.
It was when I was 15. So I was there for 2 years before Barbie happened. And I was just making videos, collaborating, street dancing on Hollywood Boulevard.
Well, good for you. I mean, good for you for booking without an audition. My gosh. I mean, I came from an era where you weren't even considered unless you showed up to an audition or some kind
But
of...
it influences the type of jobs you get. I don't get certain opportunities because that's not part of my programming. There's opportunities that I might have been great for that I don't get because I'm not part of the, hey, there's an audition Saturday. Are you going? Or, hey, Ditto, we have an audition for you. Go out to this. Because I'm not part of that circuit, I miss out on certain things. And I have to be okay with that. Or else I do need to go be in people's classes get connected with the choreographers, make sure I'm comfortable in an audition, make sure that I have an agency that's going to get all that organized for me. I've got to make sure I'm willing to go on a tour and be a backup dancer, but I'm not willing. I'm not interested. And that's different for everyone, but for me, I'm not interested. So I get certain things, but I miss out on other things.
Hey, you do you, boo. Whatever makes you happy. And I think it's cool because auditioning was my least favorite thing to do. I wish I could just direct book everything. I mean, I direct book a lot, but I've never genuinely, I don't know that I've ever met a dancer who's never auditioned. And I know a lot of street dancers and they've auditioned, but I think that probably that speaks to your social media presence. So I think a lot of people probably just saw your uniqueness and they just wanted that. It was almost like you are this product and they just wanted to buy the product.
Yeah.
And
they just put the plug and play.
They just wanted to insert the product inside of their project or whatever that they're creating. So
yeah, which also meant most of the time I was alone. It like they didn't hire 20 dancers, including Dytto. Like it was usually completely about me or had nothing to do with me.
Gotcha.
So, different circumstances.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Taylor, for your question.
Thank you.
Next up, we have other Gabby.
Hi, my name is Gabby Fultak. I'm 15 and I'm from Orlando, Florida. And my question is, what's your best advice for not psyching yourself out and getting out of your head in front of cameras?
Love that, cameras specifically. I think practice, obviously. But I think that you just have to get really comfortable performing for the camera only. And I think that that's a weird thing to do with people watching. But I literally try to seduce the camera. I try to give the camera eyes that I would only give somebody that I really love. I try to be so connected to the camera. And I think I got good at it just from doing it so often and doing it alone. I think that's where a lot of my success has come from, is building the confidence. I believe that confidence is your reputation with yourself. So you kind of might have to prove it to yourself a few times that you're not going to freak out when the camera's on. And maybe you have to do that alone. Maybe that's not for anyone to see yet. And then maybe the situations can grow in stakes as you move on and you get more comfortable to where this isn't a big deal, but you don't go from here just to here. I don't know why in every movie they think that all of a sudden you wake up one day and you're like, I'm ready to take over. No, you're not ready to take over. You need to do it a few times, and that's okay. You don't just never freestyle in your life and then suddenly you're comfortable on the World of Dance stage. You have to practice freestyling. You have to practice performing. You can't just wait until that one moment to start performing. Perform all the time. Even if it's a friend taking a photo of you or you making a video for your Instagram stories. Sometimes it's small things that can help us practice, and you can delete them after if you don't like them. But you'll see the potential, or you'll see, oh, that was a little this. Let me try it like that. And try it a different way and see how that feels on you. But it's a lot of trial and error and finding what feels natural for you. Maybe you're the kind of person who likes to ignore the camera. Maybe you're the kind of person who doesn't. You don't know yet, though. You don't know unless you try. And don't wait for that time to try when it's something super important and you're in a class doing this really viral routine about to go on YouTube and you're like, oh, this is the first time I've had a camera in front of me. So get comfy with it. Document everything you do. Start vlogging, even if you never post it. Just start getting comfortable with the camera and how you look on it. And eventually you'll know all your angles. You'll know what faces you like to make. It literally just comes with practice, a month or so of you playing around with that. And you'll know exactly how to get the camera's eyes. You'll be like, oh, I'm going to do this because I always do that and that works. And then I'll go and do this because that angle looks really great on my face. You'll just know. Just
got to put in the reps, just like anything else. Practice, practice, practice. Eventually you'll get comfortable. So you just got to do the scary thing. And again, and again.
Yeah.
All right. Last question. We have Maricia.
Hi, my name's Maricia. I'm 11 years old and I live in Merced, California. My question for you is, did you ever second guess yourself if you ever want to change your personality, and what other people saw you as?
The best question. Literally the best question. I had this conversation a few days ago because I absolutely, till this day, still second guess myself. The other day, I did this really big podcast and it was very personality based. It wasn't totally talking about my career. It was just kind of like fun. Like you're kicking it with a bunch of your brother's friends. That's what it felt like to me. And I was so nervous because I was like, man, like in dance, I feel like I'm such a cool girl. Like I feel like my dance style, I wanted to be very just, I don't know, kind of Tomb Raider, kind of Angelina Jolie. That's kind of what I wanted for me as a dancer. But that's not me in real life. Like I'm much more fun and goofy and silly and lighthearted. And I remember going onto the podcast so scared because I knew I wasn't going to survive it trying to be something I'm not. So I just let loose, laughed. I was just a big pile of me, a big pile of Courtney, if you will. And I was really scared at how that was going to come across. So when it got posted, I sent it to all my friends and family. And I said, watch this without me near you. Please give me your honest opinion about how I came across. And they loved it. And I had spoken to somebody about it, like a professional from Passion app. It was Carrie, actually. And she said, some of the things that we try to hide about ourselves are usually why people find us special. And I thought, girl, what do you mean? And, you know, she's like, because you actually are such a real human, that's what makes it so special that you can get on a stage and do what you do. That's what makes it so unique is how is this girl who's so sweet and so like light get on a stage and she gets all serious, she gets all focused, she's like a completely different, that switch is interesting. It's not embarrassing and it's not worth me trying to cultivate some new personality to hide from what actually makes me interesting. Because I'm sure if I tried to be more mysterious and cool about it, that might be cool to me or cool to some people, but it sounds kind of lonely because I think it would just take away a lot of connection. So sometimes I don't think it's worth like the cool girl act or anything just to be seen as cool. Like I think that we are actively changing the definitions of everything as we go. So now my mission isn't to be someone's or even my definition of cool. It's just to be me and to make me the definition of cool to me. And to me, cool is a lot of things besides mysterious. Cool is being a good person. Cool is being wise. Cool is being kind and respectful. Like cool is so many other things that I just think are more important than trying to act too cool for school or mysterious or I'm famous. It's not worth it. And it's not really worth anything. There's no connection to it. So I definitely second guess it every day because I think, wow, what if I'm not as cool of a person as I am as a dancer? They love me for my dancing. What if they don't like me as a person? And that's definitely scared me many a times. And every time I've just let go, I have felt it come back 10 times in positive energy because people are really, really relieved to know that I'm a real person.
So authenticity and vulnerability, really, it's a superpower. Mm-hmm. And I can totally relate to that as well. I came from the generation where you only show the good stuff and you withhold the bad stuff. It wasn't until actually after my 2020 experience where I actually spoke vulnerably of the hard times that people leaned in and leaned in more into the story of, so all that shiny stuff is all great, but then it's, oh, you're actually human. You actually go through hard times. You actually have suffered before. Oh, you actually have dark days. Wow. And it's so funny that you mentioned because Carrie internally shared what we have to share a win internally of what was a big breakthrough with some of the clients. And you were actually one of the breakthroughs that she shared. And she really enjoyed your conversation. I don't know.
We had the best conversation.
She didn't share the details, but she said you had a breakthrough. So happy to hear that. Well, before we sign off, do you have any final words or anything you'd like to share or say?
I would just like to say I am so excited for you all. You guys are so intelligent and I can only imagine the dancing. So please just keep maintaining who you are and what feels the most like you. We don't need more of the same person in this world. Our industry is a lot of people trying to be the next somebody. And it gets a little boring sometimes. So personally, from meeting you, I'm waiting to watch the next person have a ditto moment, but completely their own. I'm so excited for that. And I want it to be y'all. I hope I see you guys on my app, but really, I want to see y'all up there. I want to see y'all on my Explore page. I want to see it because we need new, fresh energy in this dance community. We need people with a fresh perspective and a unique expression. So I'm ready for y'all whenever y'all are ready. Okay.
I love that. Well, on behalf of the Business of Dance, we send you lots of love. Show her how we do it, guys. Love your way. Thank you so much. And congratulations on all of your growth and the evolution of your career. And I'm excited about your app and feel more than honored and privileged to have coached you a little bit on it, and can't wait to see it come to life. And dancers, if you struggle with freestyling, you know where to go. I am the expert on the Business of Dance, not freestyle. So you can go to Dytto for that. I love it, guys. All right. Thank you so much, Dytto, again. Bye, everyone. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and see you next time.
Thank you,
Bye. Thank you.
And that concludes another episode of the Business of Dance podcast.
We hope you found today's conversation insightful and gained valuable knowledge.
Be sure to join us next time for more inspiring interviews with top professionals in the dance industry.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe to The Business of Dance on your favorite platform and take a moment to leave a review. Your feedback is greatly appreciated.
This podcast is brought to you by the Business of Dance online mentorship program to help aspiring professional dancers create their dream dance careers.
Thank you for listening. Until next time.